Radio. Spurs could bring Wemby off the bench in his second game back after missing a month with a calf strain. Indiana's Kurt Cignetti, AP College Football Coach of the Year for a second straight year.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. But super excited to be here.
Phil Bonatti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader, here on this Tuesday, December 16th. 9 days till Christmas. Here on this wonderful Tuesday. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling fantastic. Hope you're getting ready for those holidays as much as I am, as much as everyone here is. We love the break, and we love the sports that come with it as well. Good to be here. Like I said, we got a big show for you, 2 hours today before we send it off to the NBA Cup Finals. Yes, we will air the NBA Cup Finals tonight, 5 o'clock, Spurs and Knicks. So we'll do 2 hours today, and then we'll sign off and send it out to Las Vegas. Big thanks to Tony D for tossing it to us in the previous hour. Tony D Show, Sportsline Bulldog Hour, Tony D from 2 to 3 p.m. on the weekdays here on 1430 ESPN. Also, Paul Metter Show, Central Valley Sports Report, which is now on hiatus for the winter break. He'll be back in January, but you can normally listen to him from 10 a.m. to noon on Saturdays from First String Sports. You got my show usually from 3 to 6 p.m. on the weekdays as well. So excited to bring that to you. You can stream it live on the website, 1430ESPNFresno.com, or on our ESPN Fresno app, which you can download with any smart device. And also, you can stream us video-wise on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch on those channels as well. The Lee's Air Hotline is the way to reach our show, 559-320-1430, the way to get a hold of us. Get in on the conversation, Lee's Air Hotline, 559-320-1430. Lee's Air Plumbing, Heating, and Roofing, sponsoring the Lee's Air Hotline. They also sponsor our weather check. And taking a look at what we have here, 52 degrees and cloudy. I mean, honestly, do I need to look at the app anymore? It's been like that for the last 14 days or so in any sense. Allegedly, it says it's going to hit the 60s tomorrow and sunny, but we'll see. Maybe some rain on the forecast for this upcoming weekend as well. So, bear through it. It's winter. You're here. Like I said, good show today. We got a fun rundown for you, of course, talking some football. Maybe we'll touch on a little fantasy Bonatti Blitz here in this first hour as well. We're going to rank the Week 16 games. Not many Bonatti Blitzes left to get to as well. We'll talk about some of the news items around Fresno State as well. NBA Cup talk, and we'll also have in the second hour one of our student athletes this week. We've been trying to navigate the hectic winter schedule that the winter sports are currently in, and so we're going to get a twofer this week in terms of student athlete of the week. So we're going to get Auburn Santos of Justin Garza girls basketball. Her and her coach Anthony Bay will be in as well. So we're looking forward to talking to them both. Justin Garza off to a 9-1 start, and they're heading out to Vegas for a tournament starting on Thursday. So perfect time to get them in the studio, talk about their season, and talk about the Guardians. So excited to get into it for the next couple hours, and we're going to get into it with a couple of guys who are sitting behind the glass over there for this show. Tanvir's back for another day, and Daniel's here on a Victory Tuesday for Daniel. So maybe we start there, Daniel. How do you feel after a victory Tuesday? I'll give you you get a minute to talk about your Steelers, if that. Maybe so. How do you feel on this victory Tuesday?
Oh, I feel great. Blasting Renegade on the way here.
Yeah.
We love it. We absolutely love this team. My old man is the
Your
best
old
QB.
man?
Yeah, my old man. Aaron Rodgers is leading us to a bowl. I'm saying that right now.
Leading you to a bowl? What do you mean? Like,
I
he's a
doubted
college
this-
football team?
Yeah, he's leading them to the Peach Bowl, not the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
not the
we're
Super
going to
Bowl.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, okay, all right. I was about to say, like,
I doubted this team a couple weeks ago, but
I still doubt this team.
all that doubt is gone. We have MVS. We're getting
You
Alan-
have MVS is a statement you just said on radio.
we're getting Alan Lazard. I can promise you, we're
You're
going all the
kidding.
way.
You have Adam Thielen. What other scrap heap pieces are we picking up for the Steelers here?
They're going to get Andre Johnson out of retirement, I think.
100.
as
I
well.
mean, anything is possible nowadays in this today's NFL.
Steve
It's-
Largent, maybe?
Is Antonio
Oh,
Brown
I love it.
like? Is he fine? Like,
He will return.
Like I told you earlier, Darnell Washington is the leader.
The ghost
in
of
most
Jericho
fun per
Cotchery.
reception.
coming in. I'm trying to think of other. Santonio Holmes. Is he
Hines
still?
Ward.
He's got to be. Jerry Rice. Is he's still healthy, right?
Big
Oh,
Ben
he-
at backup.
He's been running routes.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice at Levi's.
The geriatric Steelers getting a win last night over the Miami Dolphins, and I feel misled in my picks yesterday. Tanvir, I did not know the stat, and I'm going to plead that I get a redo on this pick from last night. I did not know the stat that the Steelers have not lost at home in Monday Night Football since 1991, before I existed. And so I would like to proclaim that I want that pick back because I didn't get fed that stat yesterday before the show. If I knew that, it was Steelers all the way for me, and I cannot believe I went to the Dolphins side. I got fooled again from the Miami Dolphins in any sense of the word last night, but yeah, I should get my money back not knowing that stat from yesterday.
Yeah, I'm going to be for real. I think we're both at fault for believing in Tua Tagovailoa, so I am going to reject your offer,
Yeah.
and you're going to come down with me.
Okay. Anything's on the table, according to Mike McDaniel, from that game last night in terms of the quarterback position, apparently. But I wanted to point out real quick that I said this to Daniel before when he walked down. I think, Tanvir, I wonder if you can agree with me here. I thought that was the best game Aaron Rodgers has played all year. Is that a fair? I think that's a fair assessment to make. The strikes downfield, the throws to the end zone, the ability to move the football on. I don't think Miami's like a bad defense. I don't think they're a great defense. They're kind of middle of the road for me. But I thought Rodgers looked better than most nights this season in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, and that was my big takeaway.
I think instead of the Rodgers aspect of it, I actually like the receivers and what they did. I thought DK Metcalf played so much better in this game than he has over the last couple of weeks. DK Metcalf, the big thing about him is, his stature, his size, his strength, and I just felt like he was not using that to the ability that he could, and he definitely showed it in that touchdown reception that he had in that third quarter. But yes, I thought Aaron Rodgers played really well. Would I say it's his best performance of the year? Possibly. I might think of something that happened earlier on in the year. But overall, yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers really showed that he still has some juice left in him.
Mm-hmm.
And if the Steelers want any sort of deep playoff run, it's going to have to be through him.
Mike Tomlin's going to bleep and do it again. He's going to get to 9 wins and be above 500 again. It's going to happen with this remaining schedule with Detroit, Cleveland, and Baltimore.
I just wanted to ask, would you rather be 9-8 for 10 years straight?
Oh, it's horrible.
Or half the years you're 5 wins and the other half you're 13. I don't know. I feel like I could not live in that. I mean, it's mediocrity.
The purgatory nature of that kind of existence just makes me want to gouge my eyes out. But 2 rings is 2 rings. Am I wrong there?
2 rings are 2 rings.
Or it was just one. Did Tomlin only win one?
Tomlin only won one. Yeah.
Cowher won. He got to another, and then he hasn't been there since 2010, right?
He was beat by the man that is now his quarterback.
Yes.
All right.
Rodgers, I'm trying to look at some other games he had. He had 224 last night, and I think he had the 4 touchdowns. Or no, one was a rush. So I think he had 3 touchdowns last night in terms of it. No, he had 2. Excuse me. But efficient, 23 for 27, just 4 incompletions last night through the air. And, I mean, really, Pittsburgh was well ahead of the game where it didn't need to ask too much for it from him in terms of it. It's his, excuse me, he's had better yardage games per se in terms of production, but I would imagine the interception rate was not as good in those games. I'm looking at early games in the season. Daniel, if you recall, they played Cincy early in the year and they lost on that Thursday night, and Rodgers had a couple horrible picks in that game, even though he threw for 249, right?
The Vikings game performance I thought was pretty good. The one where they won in Dublin.
Just 200 yards through the air for him, but efficient in that sense. The Jets game week 1?
Yes. I thought the Minnesota defense is better than Miami's, and therefore that's why I would give credence to that being his best performance of the year, but still, great performance last night.
So, I don't think we look at that game tomorrow or last night and say, is it going to play a factor into what is the grand scheme of the playoffs? I think it more assures the Steelers are going to be at least guaranteeing themselves Week 18 is a game that will matter for them in terms of win the division or whatever with Baltimore. Because you got to believe Baltimore. I mean, Pittsburgh feels good, I would imagine, with where Baltimore's at with 7-7 Baltimore. Baltimore's got New England, Baltimore's got Green Bay, and then Baltimore's got Pittsburgh. So the path for Baltimore suddenly gets way more difficult. We'll talk about it when we preview the week ahead, but with Pittsburgh and Detroit this week, I don't know what juice they have against Detroit from what I saw with my own 2 eyes and what Detroit can be offensively. That's a whole different story in terms of that. You got to believe the game in Cleveland will be something that the Steelers handled Cleveland very well early in the year, but that was Dylan Gabriel. What is it going to be like with facing Shedeur in that situation? But I think the win last night assured the Steelers that Week 18 will be probably for the division. I think that's fair to say in every sense of a word. They clinched at least a play-in game in Week 18 for that. Who do you want to see it? I know you want to see Pittsburgh, Daniel. So I'm not going to ask you, but Tanvir, who do you want in the playoffs between Pittsburgh and Baltimore?
I as a child, I was a fan of Pittsburgh, but I am going to be honest. I would rather have Lamar and the Ravens just because I feel like I would love to see how Lamar and Josh Allen handle the pressure of being in a playoffs that doesn't have a Joe Burrow or a Patrick Mahomes. I think both of those guys would have not only the opportunity to make a Super Bowl, but the opportunity to put a stamp on one of their legacies that the other 2 quarterbacks have, which is they've made a Super Bowl. So I think I would like that aspect of the battle a little bit more, but I guess I wouldn't mind either one.
I think I'd want to see Pittsburgh in a little bit more, me personally.
There's the story of Aaron Rodgers, though. It is...
the one final ride.
Yeah, I think that would be cool, too.
This feels like... You remember the last... Breeze was much better at the end, but it feels like the last Breeze year when Breeze retired after losing to Brady in 2020, kind of that kind of ending where we're going to have a game in Pittsburgh and you're going to get one last kind of really big, resounding, crowd in the playoffs. I think Pittsburgh's a better atmosphere for me personally in terms of playoff atmospheres versus Baltimore. I'd much rather see that on my TV. Baltimore just to me is a little more depressing as a squad right now. I just don't know what the vibes are for Baltimore, and I don't know if I'm getting anything out of it. I think they're more depressing to watch, me personally, when it comes to that. And I'm going to have to stare at it dead in the face for 3 hours on Sunday Night Football when my Patriots take on Baltimore next week. So, I just think aesthetically, I need to see the Terrible Towels one more time go up against, probably Buffalo, and we'll see where that kind of game goes in a wild card weekend.
Phil, imagine this.
Yes.
Wild card weekend. Game nighttime, prime time in Pittsburgh.
They're giving them the primetime game?
We get Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers versus Phillip Rivers and the Colts.
You're not getting that. You're not going to get that.
Hey.
You're not going to get that simply because Phillip Rivers is not going to get to a 5 seed unless you have catastrophic collapses between Buffalo, Los Angeles, and Houston out there. And I'm sorry. I know you want it. It's not going to happen in terms of that. I'm trying to project so if wild card weekend right now where we sit, You have like New England, Houston, which would probably feel like they want to put Romo and Nance on that and put CBS and make it like a 4:15 kind of Sunday game, right? Or something like that. Buffalo, Jacksonville screams the early Saturday. I don't know. I don't know if they put Josh Allen there. I think they would put Josh Allen in. It might be like the Monday game. Like they put the Monday late game. You know what I'm talking about in Wild Card Weekend now? Los Angeles, Pittsburgh would be so like early Saturday.
I think they put an NFC game in the primetime Sunday slot because I just think
San Francisco, Philly would be that.
San Francisco, Philly, or even Chicago
Green
versus
Bay
Green Bay. That would, I think those two would probably be a primetime game. I think, yeah, in terms of like night games, I think the best chance for the Steelers would probably be like the Monday game.
They would shove Seattle. Actually, I think they would shove Seattle, Tampa to the Monday.
Tampa did play on Monday in the wild card round 2 years ago.
Last year they played Sunday against Jaden Daniels and the company.
Yeah.
That was the Sunday night
Yeah.
matchup. So usually they like to throw Tampa in the night game in terms of it. But it was backloaded with the NFC playoffs. And the AFC like started the playoffs last year. It was weird. It was very strange. They like had all the AFC teams play at the beginning of the weekend, and then it was at the tail end of it.
The Packers-Eagles was the afternoon Sunday game. And then, you had the Commanders, Bucks,
and then the Vikings-Rams game was on
Monday. Yeah. So
they may flip it. I think for fair nature of it, they may flip it around. But
they gave the Steelers last year the Saturday night game.
The reason
it was because it was a Baltimore,
but it was on Prime. It was like a weird Prime game. Like.
Was it?
It was discussed. Yeah, it was. It was kind of shoved on Prime. Here's the pro thing for you if you want Pittsburgh in the primetime slot. Potentially last Aaron Rodgers game, and that's simply enough for I think a lot of people to be warranting to watch the game.
Which quarterback would that give like the most credence to give them the primetime slot? I think it would be Justin Herbert probably.
Well, yeah, if it's Herbert versus Rodgers,
that would be a cool primetime.
Yeah, to put it like Sunday night.
Yeah,
in that slot. But we're 3 weeks away. We're still
we're acting like Pittsburgh is gonna make the playoffs.
Well, what's so crazy now is that like I think we really know the field. Like outside of two random outside factors in terms of Detroit and not random. I'm saying like outside of Detroit knocking on the door, and on the other side, Old Man Rivers and Indy's trying to just hold on, and then there's Baltimore, and then there's Carolina just slinking along. In terms of that, that's your field. Like nobody else is in it. I'm not going to give the Cowboys their plus 20,000 chance they're going to win the division in terms of that. So, I mean, and who else has the long shot odds?
Those are the 5 teams outside the playoffs that still have a chance.
Yeah,
Cowboys, Panthers, Lions, Ravens, and Colts.
I did a playoff machine earlier today. By the way, Tanvir, you would have hated it. I had like Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Who did I have? I had Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Oh no, I had Pittsburgh and Indy as a 5 and 6, or a 6 and 7 in the wild card.
Okay.
Yeah, knocking out somebody. I think knocked out Houston. I'm just trying to get sicko.
Yeah.
I was trying to go sicko mode there. Okay, let's take a break. Let's talk about next week already. Yes, Bonatti Blitz coming up next here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
The Central Valley Sports Leader has you covered for the local angle with the Central Valley Sports Report hosted by Paul Meadors. Paul is back for year 5 and is ready to give you the insight and knowledge of everything you need to know when it comes to high school sports. From First String Sports every Saturday on 1430 ESPN Fresno.
Back by popular demand now through December 21st. KFC's got your back this Christmas with their Cajun deep fried turkey. Fully cooked and Cajun seasoned. It's ready to preheat at home, giving you more time for family and holiday fun. Pre-order a week in advance and partake only, including Clovis and Fresno River Park, and pick it up in person. Enjoy it a la carte or as part of a holiday meal or feast with sides like mashed potatoes, gravy, and warm biscuit. Happy holidays from your locally owned KFC.
When hunger's in the red zone, Toledo's Mexican restaurant has the winning play. Huddle up for their new chicken deals starting at just $14.99. Gandos, chicken mole enchiladas, and Sam Special. Use promo code ESPN for an extra 10% off, in addition to reward points and discounts. Plus, swing on by Toledo's and catch all your college and NFL action on the big screens. Happy hour, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5. Saturdays and Sundays, 8 to 10, with $10 apps, $7 house margaritas, and $5 drafts. Toledo's Mexican Restaurant.
I'm here at the Roger Dunn Open. Former Fresno State football coach Pat Hill is at the first tee.
Hey, it's a fairway hit.
Yeah, but that's the wrong fairway, Coach.
I need to buy a golf game.
Coach, I really think you need a Roger Dunn Baker.
When you buy a game at Roger Dunn, you can play anybody, anytime, anywhere. This is the old coach, Pat Hill. I bought this 7-iron at Roger Dunn Golf. Number 8 at Tehama, 162 yards out. Eagle, baby!
Are you an athlete ready to level up your performance the raw way? Introducing the Raw Athlete Program from Raw Farm. High schoolers, college athletes, gym warriors, and pros, Raw Farm wants you to see why professional athletes and nutritionists are fueling up with Raw Farm raw whole milk to hit their team goals and personal gains. Raw Farm is the best 100% A2 cream top from seasonally grass-raised cows, non-GMO, certified humane, 100% made in America, and crafted for serious gains. Visit rawfarmsusa.com to learn more and find it at your local Sprouts location through the nation.
Back the birds, Fresno. Don't miss another week of Fresno Pacific University Sunbirds action at the Special Event Center.
Dribbling with the left hand. She's going to fire another three. That one good as well. 3 straight threes on 3 straight possessions.
All games are just $10 for fans 18 and older. 17 and under get in free. Back the birds, Fresno. Catch both men's and women's basketball before the season wraps up. Don't miss the excitement. For schedule and ticket information, visit fpuathletics.com today. See you there.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Here on 1430 ESPN, Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. I did some calculations on some schedule draft. I was revisiting it yesterday with Tanvir, and I was revisiting it here in the mid-break. But we did these schedule drafts at the beginning of the season, like I like to do, where whoever's the best point differential at the end of the season, doesn't matter the record, whoever has the best point differential ends up winning the pride of being able to pick the most favorable games for the teams. And the Raiders draft, it had Asa in it, and we each had 4 games, and Tanvir is leading the pack in terms of bad picks. You have minus 51, Tanvir, with 2 games still left to go. Who knows what the Raiders can do against Houston and New York in this one. I have minus 43 after that. 4 straight losses for me. Aces at minus 41, despite a 10-point win for the Titans that the Raiders had. And Julia, former intern Julia, who hopefully visit during her winter break, minus 1 somehow. Somehow a minus 1 point differential in 3 games so far for her, as she had the Patriots game, Broncos home game in Vegas, and the Jags game that went to overtime, and it was 1 point win or 1 point loss for the Raiders. Lastly, Rams here, Tanvir, and you're killing the Rams draft. I'll tell you that. You're at plus 68 and you still have 2 games.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, you had the Saints game blowout.
Oh yeah.
You had the Cardinals game that just happened a couple weeks ago. You had the Niners game in Santa Clara.
Okay. So that's where I was like, I think we're gonna lose.
And you still have Atlanta and Seattle.
This could be a plus 100.
Who knows?
Well, not the Seattle one, but the Atlanta game.
The Atlanta game. Julia's at plus 57 though, and they still have a say in it because they got the Cardinal game. At the end of the year. She had the Jaguars game in London, the Niner loss on Thursday. She had the Texans game at the beginning of the year and the Bucs game that ended up being a really nice pick there on the Sunday night. I had a lot of good games, close games. I had picked all the close games for the Rams. I had the Colts game, I had the Titans game, I had the Seattle game in LA, I had the Baltimore game, and I have the Carolina loss. So I end up at plus 34, and I have no hope of pulling that one out. So there you go. All right, let's do the Bonatti Blitz. We got a lot of games to rank here, and Bonatti Blitz is brought to you by Grocery Outlet. If you are looking for some holiday treats and all that great deals at Grocery Outlet, be sure to stop by at our local stores here in Fresno, Northwest Fresno, Southeast Fresno, Downtown Fresno, Kerman, and Sanger. Guys, are you ready to rank 16 games on the slot here in the NFL? You ready for it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yes, Week 16. You really can know the playoff teams by the end of this one. We rank them in terms of the worst to the first, and we go to the worst game of the week. We go out to the desert in Las Vegas between the Raiders and the Texans. I'm not going to even, avoid the spoiler here in who I'm picking. This could be a bloodbath in Las Vegas between the best pass rush we see in the NFL versus the worst offensive line in the history of the NFL, potentially. If the Raiders no-showed in Philly, I'm very afraid they are no-showing here in this game against Houston. Biggest mismatch of the season so far. Get this one away from my screen as soon as possible.
Hey, this is going to be a battle for the Las Vegas Raiders to get that number 1 pick, but this is going to be a bloodbath, as you said. This is also my worst game of the week. Not many other words I got to say.
Yeah.
My worst game of the week as well. Like I said, immovable force versus unstoppable object. This is a terrible.
The movable force.
Very movable force. Next up, Cardinals and Falcons in Arizona. I think I have it in Arizona. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's in Arizona. Regardless, it doesn't matter to the playoff picture and whatsoever. These two teams are relevant to the playoff matchup. It is in Arizona, and I just don't have much juice to it. I don't have any fantasy implications to it, and to me, it's not worth the watch for me. Cardinals and Falcons.
I have it a little higher for myself, but that's just because I got games that I think are going to be worse. I also think that these are two teams that, as bad as they are, can churn out a pretty good performance in terms of the game quality. So I have this slightly higher, but still in my bottom 5.
Yeah, I went with them. I had it just a little higher, but I don't think it's going to be that good of a game. But points will be scored.
The tickets for this game are going for $14.
Just gotta get you there.
At this point, I might go.
Just drive to Phoenix or fly to Phoenix. You're good.
It gets to send you into an NFL game.
You see Bijan Robinson. Why not? Next up, Giants and Vikings in New York City. I like watching Jackson Dart play, and I may or may not have some skin in the game in terms of fantasy implications with him, but I just don't know if I trust this game to be any sort of interesting. The Giants kind of laid an egg last week against Washington, so I think these are two teams coasting to the end of the season. Good fight for the Vikings to at least somewhat almost eliminate the Cowboys, but I just got to put it here.
Yeah, Minnesota, had a good win against Dallas, and I think they're going to just try and compound that with a good win at New York. Jackson Dart's been in concussion protocol for the 5th time this year, so I hope his health will be fine. But regardless, I think this game is a little higher for me just because I think these two teams can put some offensive firepower out there.
I had this a little higher just because I like both quarterbacks for both teams, and 9, but I love J.J. McCarthy. I think he did very well against the Cowboys, and Jackson Dart, I think he's just a great quarterback as well, so I think it'll be a good shootout.
Next up, Titans and Chiefs in Tennessee. The Chiefs are without Patrick Mahomes, as you know, taking on a Titans team that I think it's playing a little better as of late right now. Chiefs are really going to have to evaluate what they have on this roster outside of Patrick Mahomes, and this is a good time to do it. 3 games to figure out what your roster is made of and what exactly you need to shore up in terms of it. The Titans, I think, have a real shot to win this game in terms of what they're going to be facing, just it simply doesn't matter to the playoff picture outside of it, so I'm not totally interested in tuning into Titans-Chiefs, but this is where it lands for me.
Yeah, this is pretty low for me as well. I had this in the 4th bottom game. Yes, the loss of Patrick Mahomes is big, but I also think this Chiefs team wasn't playing good even with Patrick Mahomes in there, so this is going to be low for me regardless. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Cam Ward has improved over the last couple of games against some very good defenses, and I think this will be another one where it's going to be kind of like a quasi-shootout, but still, I just don't care for this game, so that's why it's low for me.
You see, Cam Ward's biggest opponent isn't even the Chiefs' defense; it's his own wide receivers. So, I want the Titans to do good. I really want to see Cam Ward succeed, and I think this will be a decent game considering the circumstances.
Next up, Dolphins and Bengals in Miami. Just kind of a shrug game for me in terms of this, but at least there's a few pieces fantasy-wise that I think are interesting to pay attention to. But outside of that, game doesn't matter in terms of the standings. Game doesn't really matter outside of draft positioning side of things. Joe Burrow's going to play, so we'll see what that looks like. I think people are going to pay attention to how his demeanor is going to be. Could see some differences in terms of the quarterback side of the Dolphins side of it as well. So who knows if we get to it in this game. But Dolphins-Bengals sits here.
These are 2 teams that have utterly made me so mad this year because of not only the roster decisions in the preseason, but the play in the season. So this is second worst for me because I have a slight disdain for both of these teams, and both these teams not even in a playoff position. So second worst for me.
You see, I just want Joe Burrow to lose. That's all I really care about. But I hope we see Quinn Ewers out there this weekend.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Next up, Saints and Jets. Yeah, I'm putting it this high. I like Tyler Shough. I like watching the Saints team ball out. And you know what? They're going to ball out against this Jets defense, and that's comically fun to watch for me in terms of that. So Jets have been so horrible on that side of the ball. I don't know exactly what they're doing at all. Tyler Shough going to be a daily fantasy superstar for you if you're going to go low buy at a quarterback. I love the idea of this game happening. I know it means nothing, but I just love the comic nature of what the Jets have been doing this year. So give me Brady Cook against Tyler Shough. Give it to me.
Yeah, this is a Saints team that could be on a little 3-game winning streak if they beat the Jets here. Besides that, I couldn't care less about this Jets team as they're devoid of talent and they just don't have any wins on them that are of substance. So, yeah, this is 4th lowest for me. Besides the Tyler Shough factor, not really interested.
We all love Tyler Shough. I said it last week, Tyler Shough, Oregon Duck legend, but this week, this is Tyler Shough, Texas Tech legend. Okay. And I think he's going to have another great showing against this Jets team.
Anybody can. You can play quarterback against the Jets.
Let's do it.
Put him in. Next up, the first standalone Saturday game, Commanders and Eagles sits here next. The Eagles are just basically a breath away from winning the NFC East. All they got to do is really contain a Commanders team that, I thought offensively they figured some things out a little bit with Mariota, who's going to be in the starting quarterback position for the rest of the season. Bill, what's up? Where were you all season? Could have used you. Anyways, Philadelphia should run away with this. I'm not making a prediction just quite yet, but it'll make the Saturday. It's enough to keep it on the Saturday television when you're doing other things.
Yeah, Philadelphia, I think if they win this game, they'll be the first team in a long time that wins the NFC East back-to-back years, so that's something to look out for. I think Mariota actually does provide some sort of substance for this game, and I think Washington could play a little bit of spoiler. They have a decent team, it's just they just did not connect this year, and so they could play a little spoiler for Philly for their playoff aspirations.
I've always loved Mariota. I've loved him since college, but I just don't have any interest in this game at all. I put it a lot lower just because I don't think it's going to be all that interesting. Plus, we have college football playoffs on that day. So I don't consider it watchable to me, but yeah.
It's got to go somewhere. Next up, Panthers and Bucks. Yeah, I know. It's for the division. Yeah, I know. These two teams are fighting for their lives. But are they really? Have we seen that the last couple weeks? I don't know if I think we're going to get quality football here in Carolina, but somebody's got to win. And I just don't feel like I'm going to get a good football game out of these two teams. I know it'll be close. I know somebody's got to win. But I'm sorry. I think I have better interest in watching here for the Panthers and Bucks.
Man, I got this at number 3.
I'm sorry.
It's fine, but I think this game will be super interesting.
They deserve to be down here with the way they played.
By the way they played is short, but I think the game itself will be super good. I think that both these teams do have teams that are up and down, very inconsistent. So I think for the, comedic aspect of it, I will be very entertained because one of these teams is going to come out on top, and in all reality, they probably shouldn't be in a playoff spot. So, this is my number 3 game of the week.
Talk about the mid bowl.
Yeah.
This is straight up mid. I think it'll still be exciting given the circumstances of both teams. You see, I'd love Bryce Young to light up the next 3 weeks to have a comeback player of the year statement case.
Next up, Cowboys-Chargers in Dallas. I have it at this. I have a lot of Cowboys in fantasy. That's really why I'm kind of interested in this game, and that's really what's hanging on for me. I know the Cowboys have disappointed me the last couple of weeks with the way their result of their season has gone. I would like to see the Chargers win this game because I do believe the Chargers would be fun to watch them compete for an AFC West championship. It's not out of the realm of possibility in my mind that the Chargers can't win the division. So give me a great matchup between, I think, a very physical Chargers defense against a fun Cowboys offense for the most part.
Yeah, I have this at number 4. I think that this game, while it may not have the playoff implications of some of the other games, I also think that this game has 2 teams that can light it up on the offensive side of the ball. I think the Chargers had a pretty good game a couple weeks ago against the Eagles, 2 weeks ago actually, against the Eagles. Dallas had a fun game against Minnesota, so I have this at number 4, even though Dallas Cowboys don't necessarily have that big of a chance to make the playoff.
No, I have this in my top 3, actually. I think this will be a great shootout between both teams. I think they're both very highly productive offenses, and I think this would be a great scoring game.
Next up, I'm putting it this side. Browns and Bills in Cleveland. I really think the matchup between these two teams, I think, favors a lot to the Browns if you really think about the matchups in terms of the run game and Quishon Judkins and what he can do. If the Browns offense gets off to a start that is supportive to what they can do. And then on the flip side, Myles Garrett against this Bills offensive line could be a game-wrecking situation for Buffalo in this situation. Buffalo coming off a really, really uptick win against New England. There is a propensity for a letdown from this football game. So I'm curious. It could be 48-10 Buffalo, and that's fine. But I think there's a world where the Browns make this a football game.
I have this very middle of the road, but I do echo the sentiments that you have about this game, that I think that, not only the factor that Josh Allen could have, or he has a matchup against a pretty good defense, but Myles Garrett possibly getting the sack record in this game will be so just groundbreaking, in my opinion, for a guy that's basically played less games than whatever the previous record holders did. So yeah, this is kind of middle of the road for me because I don't think Cleveland they've kind of let me down in terms of the offensive output over the last couple of games, but I think Buffalo versus Cleveland could be a good matchup for those two players.
Please, God, no, don't let them break that record. That was all I care about.
I don't think it's on you, bro. I think that record's being broken.
No,
I recognize Michael Strahan for that record, not your TJ Watt.
Hey, TJ Watt was robbed of a sack.
We're not doing this right now. We got a segment wrong.
Anyways, I have no hope in this Browns team. I think you do, but I don't. I think the Bills will win.
Like 19-16 rounds in the third quarter, you're like, what? What's going on? All right. Next up, Lions-Steelers in Detroit just misses out my top 5. This could be a pretty big mismatch in terms of the offensive output between two teams. The Steelers feel like they really got to fight hard to get to 28 points, and the Lions can just breathe and make 28 points happen for their offense. So it could be a real big mismatch between two teams. This could be a real mismatch for the Steelers defense, who has to guard against Jahmyr Gibbs in this company, against Montgomery in this team. Amon-Ra St. Brown is impossible to cover in terms of that. And if they can't generate pass rush against Jared Goff, it could be an ugly day. But playoff implications, that's why it's up this high.
Yeah, number 6 for me, just outside the top 5. I think that Detroit versus Pittsburgh is a pretty good matchup in terms of what they have in their future. You know, Detroit needs this win if they want to get any semblance of playoff hopes. Pittsburgh needs to solidify themselves as the AFC North champ, and I think that's going to provide for a pretty cool game. So give me this at number 6.
No, I had this at my number 5, and my big thing about this game is I think we're going to see a lot of silly. You know, we got Dan Campbell and the way he likes to run his offense, and I just think the way this offense has been for the Steelers, I think they're going to start pulling some tricks out because they know we need a win. And, like, I think we're going to see Darnell Washington used a lot more. I think we're going to see Jonnu Smith used a lot more. I think all those tight ends are going to be out there.
All right. Hey, the Rams killed the Lions with their tight ends yesterday or 2 days ago, so we'll see. Ravens, Patriots makes my top 5 here. This is where it goes Sunday Night Football. I think the Patriots can bounce back, especially against this Ravens team who, you know, they got to be thanking their lucky stars the Bengals didn't want to show up on Sunday because I thought the Ravens were primed for a losing effort here. It's going to be interesting to see what the Patriots defense can do in terms of the run game. Still no Milton Williams, so I'm a little concerned in terms of the Derrick Henry factor in this ball game. But outside of it, Drake May can bounce back against this Ravens defense, and I look for that to happen on Sunday Night Football against Baltimore.
Yeah, I had this at number 7. I think it's a very stacked upper tier of games this week. I just think that New England provides a little bit of a matchup imbalance for the Ravens offense. I think that the New England defense, as hurt as they are with the Milton Williams factor, I still think that they'll be able to fly around and get to this Ravens offense because I don't think that their passing game is that good. So I have this at number 7 because I think the New England Patriots will be able to deal with them, especially after a loss against the Buffalo Bills.
I think Drake May has that hunger in him. He wants to win again. I think we're going to see a different Drake May out there this week. I think he's going to be a lot. He's going to be hungry. And I think against this Ravens team, who's also very hungry for that playoff spot, for that top AFC North seed, I think we're going to have a great game.
Next up, Monday Night Football, Colts and Niners sits here at number 4. The Niners defense, I talked about the concerns we have with them and the inability to generate pass rush. This is a quarterback like Philip Rivers at 44 years old, is a guy you could try to get sacks on in terms of it, but the Colts offense doing enough what it needed to do to almost beat Seattle. Unfortunately, the Colts defense didn't quite do as much there in that department. The Niners could exploit those mismatches with what the Colts have on defense, but I think this is a competitive game on Monday Night Football, and I definitely look forward to it.
Yeah, number 5 for me, I think this is obviously a massive game for the 49ers. I think this is the most important of the final 3 games for them because I've stated that if you can win this game, you can afford to lose a Chicago or a Seattle game, which I believe are much tougher games. So this is a must-win for San Francisco. I think San Francisco, their offense is going to be playing pretty well against this Indianapolis Colts defense, even though they are very tough. And I think because of the lack of pressure that the 49ers defensive line provides, the Colts could also score a lot of points. So I think you could see a shootout on Monday night.
You know, I agree with him. I think we're going to see a very good shootout. And I've been riding the Philip Rivers wave since last week when it got announced. Since I
announced on this show last week.
Yeah.
Today. Yeah.
But I'm loving it, and I'm going to continue to ride it.
Next up, Broncos and Jaguars in Denver is number 3. Just AFC implications, AFC seeding implications here sitting for these teams. I think the Jaguars have sneakily been very good these last 5 weeks in terms of it, and Trevor Lawrence has gotten hot, which I think is fun to watch in terms of his development. Is he fully developed as a quarterback that you've finally been waiting for him to see? A win on the road in Denver certainly can solidify that opinion. Let's see it Sunday.
Yeah, I figured that this match would be the one that I have lower than everybody else. I have it at number 8, and not that I think it's not going to be a good game. I just feel like I'm more interested in the other ones. I don't know why. I just feel like with Jacksonville, I still don't know how real they truly are. And with Denver, I feel like that is a team that's been undefeated at home all year long. And I just see that Denver will just take care of business. So this is at number 8 for me, but I don't think this is going to be a bad game at all.
I don't think this is going to be a bad game. I don't have interest in watching the Broncos or the Jaguars at all. I think the Broncos have lucked into a lot of wins this season, and I've never been interested in Jaguars football at all. Sorry, Asa.
Hey, Travis Etienne's having a good year. I'll tell you that. I think he's been fun to watch the last few weeks. Next up, Bears-Packers Saturday night game. It's for the division. It's for the NFC North, and all things considered, Packers could win this one and really solidify it for themselves. No Micah Parsons. Did it really matter? I don't know if they generated as much pressure on Caleb Williams as they did a couple weeks ago. Will we get the same story from a couple weeks ago? With it all so fresh in the minds of both teams, you wonder what kind of adjustments can be made as opposed to teams that play at the beginning and at the end of the year. So, we're going to know who's going to get a home game in the playoffs from this one, and you would not expect a knockdown, drag-out fight between two teams that desperately wouldn't want to win this game.
Yeah, with Micah Parsons out, I think that allows Caleb Williams to have a little bit more time in the pocket. And I think when Caleb Williams has time in the pocket, he is a very good quarterback. I think that Chicago has the opportunity to kind of put a stranglehold on this NFC North, and I think this is going to be their coming out party. I also think Green Bay is going to provide a lot of pressure after that loss to Denver. So this is also my number 2 game of the week.
Yeah, I think number 2 is a good spot for this game. I think just with what's on the line and where both teams are at right now, I think we're just going to get a great game. And it's always a great game between these two teams. I mean, it's a historic matchup, so.
And the coup d'etat, the number 1, the creme de la creme. Seahawks, Rams, Thursday night. Was there any other choice for the number 1 game of the week? 2 11-3 teams. It came down to a last-second field goal that Jason Myers missed in L.A. The Rams at the height of their powers, despite, though, maybe not having Devontae Adams in this game, we will see, versus a Seahawks team that has quietly not played up to the standard, I would say, from their offensive standpoint. Can they grasp what's going on? Can Sam Darnold finally figure out this Rams pass rush? This has been his bugaboo. This has been his nightmare. It's like Manning against the Patriots in the beginning of his career. I don't know if I trust Sam Darnold in this game to figure out what the pass rush will present in terms of that. Outside of it, I'm fascinated. Can't wait to see who wins the NFC West potentially out of this game on Thursday.
You know, I think there are always games throughout a year that you hallmark because it shows if a team is for real or if they're fake. And I think that this game for the Seattle Seahawks is truly going to spell out for me. Are they real or are they fake? And I think that with a good performance and a win that they need to win the division, you know, you can lead the division with a win in this game. They're going to have to come out and play a really good game against this Rams team that is on fire right now. So I also have this at number 1. I think this is going to be the most entertaining game of the week, not just for the reason of in the game, but also massive implications for the NFC playoffs.
I have this at number 1 too. There was no doubt about it at all. Just with everything that's at stake and what these two teams are doing right now, I agree with what Tanvir says. If the Seahawks win this game, it proves they are a real team. Granted, I think Sam Darnold does struggle with pressure a lot, and that's been his major thing his entire career. But if he can prove that he can beat this Rams pass rush, I think that really solidifies what the Seahawks can do this season.
And that is your Benani Blitz for Week 16. All right, guys, let's take a break. Let's wrap up this hour next on 1430 ESPN.
Hey, Bulldog fans, Lynn's Restaurant Group, a proud partner of Fresno State Athletics, has launched a brand new app. With over 8 locations like J-Pot, Ramen Hayashi, and Hino Uishi, the app brings all your favorites together in one place. Order ahead, skip the wait, and earn rewards every time you dine. Whether it's game night or family night, the app has you covered. New members even score $5 in LRG credit just for signing up. Download the Lynn's Restaurant Group app today and start earning with every visit. Go Dogs!
Craving big flavor? Head to Meaned's Victory Grill in Fresno. Bite into the legendary Victory Burger. Dig into the fall-off-the-bone ribs. Or share the ultimate Victory Platter with friends. From those legendary Meaned's pizzas to fresh salads, cold drinks, and a warm hometown vibe. Every bite and sip is a win. Watch the game, catch up with friends, or bring the family. Meaned's Victory Grill in Granite Park, Fresno. Don't miss ESPN's Major Wager Monday Night Football every week. Come hungry, leave a champion. Victory tastes better here.
At Helena Agri-Enterprises, we're committed to helping you make the best agronomic decisions for your farm. That's why we combine cutting-edge technology with superior product. Helena's Agri-Intelligence Solutions use in-depth analysis to identify potential problems in the field before they take root. Combined with a complete line of high-quality crop production and crop protection inputs, Helena has the tools to help you increase productivity, enhance performance, and maximize your return on investment. Contact your local Helena representative or authorized dealer to create the right plan for your farm with Helena Products and Agri-Intelligence Solutions.
It's Happy Honda Days at Clausen Honda. This season, unwrap incredible offers on our full lineup of new Honda vehicles. Whether you're looking for style, performance, or reliability, there's a perfect Honda waiting for you. Come visit our dealership where you'll find the best holiday offers and a team ready to help you drive home the perfect gift. Celebrate the season with a new Honda from Clausen Honda of Fresno. From fuel-efficient Civics to family-ready CRVs and Pilots, we've got something for every holiday journey. Shop in-store or start your deal online anytime at ClausenHonda.com.
Are you a business owner struggling to understand how cloud technology can help your business? Are you in need of computer and technology support for your employees? M-Cubed Technologies is your solution for fully managed IT services. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. M-Cubed will be your partner in the digital world, allowing your business to carry on worry-free. We specialize in cloud hosting, Microsoft 365 management, general IT support, and VoIP phone services. Call M-Cubed Technologies today to discuss our partnerships.
Bulldog basketball is back and heating up the Save Mart Center. Don't miss any of the exciting action as both the men's and women's basketball teams take on the Mountain West this season. Make sure to bring the whole family to root for your hometown Bulldogs as they compete for that Mountain West championship Fresno would love to bring home. Tickets start as low as $5 for select games. Grab them at GoBulldogs.com today, and we'll see you at the biggest party in the Valley. Go Dogs!
Are you tired of waiting forever for your prescriptions? Grizzly Pharmacy is here to tame your healthcare needs. We fill most prescriptions in 15 minutes or less, always accepting new patients, and enjoy free delivery to your home or workplace in Fresno and Clovis. We accept all major insurance, including Medi-Cal, Blue Cross, and Optum RX. For our Fresno location, please call 559-424-0423 or visit grizzlypharmacy.com for more information.
Hey, it's Phil Bonatti from Behind the Bench. As the weather cools down and the action heats up in the sports world, that also means that sometimes we're you, more slips, hits, and injuries. Just like in sports, when life knocks you down, you need a strong team behind you. That's Davis and Van Wagenen, attorneys at law, right here in Fresno. They've helped Valley families recover and win the compensation they deserve. And you don't pay unless they win. Visit DavisVanWagenenLaw.com. Davis and Van Wagenen, your hometown injury.
Behind the Bench here at 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Excuse me, we just got a couple minutes here before we get to hour number 2 on our docket here. We did have a little, I gotta find it. Yeah, okay, here we go. We did have a little bit of a transfer news update from Fresno State. Jaden Davis going on Twitter today saying he is going to enter the transfer portal as a graduate transfer with 1 year of eligibility remaining. So, unfortunately, a piece of the secondary will not be for this Bulldog side, but, you know, he played really well, and it's one of those situations where you have to do the best you can for yourself. And 32 total tackles, 4 pass defense, 2 INTs, 3 TFLs, all that. 10-plus starts this year, last couple seasons, you know. He was a piece to the secondary. I'm sure Fresno State would like to have him for this bowl game, but the nature of college football will say, yes, you got to go find the spot that fits for you. And like we said, we don't know quite both sides of the conversation, and maybe that is one of the conversations Coach Ed said, hey, you're a really good football player, and I don't know if we can keep you, and go find something that works for you, and we're rooting for you. And I think that's kind of one of those situations for Jaden Davis. So curious to see where he goes for sure. We you know, and we'll have the pieces to move on without him there at the bowl game, so I would imagine. But it's the nature of college football, right, Denver?
Nature of college football. I really can't do much about it. If he feels he has a better opportunity elsewhere, then you got to kind of just respect that decision. And I think that Fresno State will, I mean, they've done a good enough job in recruiting, in my opinion, to kind of fill those gaps. And also just the guys that are returning, I still believe in some of the players.
Yeah, Simeon Harris won. By the way, he tweeted, "Can't wait for the bowl, no panic." So good to know Simeon Harris is locked in for the bowl game. I got to imagine potentially maybe Azilian Hamilton, we'll see for sure. It'll be his last game as a Bulldog. I know some guys are going to be interested in where they go draft-wise moving forward. I saw someone projecting Azilian Hamilton 6-rounder in a little mock-up, but you never know. Like down in those rounds, like anything could happen. So
for sure,
I'm not locking that in stone for sure. So
can I give 10 seconds?
Yeah, 10 seconds.
Yeah, Boise State. What a performance by the Mountain West champions.
Man,
jeez.
That's what I smelled when I got to SoFi on Sunday. It was their performance. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Let's take a break. Hour number 2 coming up next on 1430.
So winter's officially here, and the last thing you want is your house cold and your furnace sounding like it's auditioning for a beatboxing competition. That's why Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating is running their $99 furnace tune-up special. It's the perfect time, because nobody wants to see their breath inside the house. And let's be honest, layering 3 jackets indoors isn't festive, it's desperate. So get ahead of the cold. Schedule your $99 furnace tune-up today at leesair.com. That's leesair.com. Happy holidays from your locally owned and operated Lee's Air and Heating. CRN 635-355.
One of the most important keys to success is teamwork. Just like the Bulldogs football team, Fresno Rack has assembled a great team of their own. An industry leader in warehouse pallet racking and industrial warehouse shelving, Fresno Rack is truly your full-service one-stop shop. In-house CAD printed department, in-house installation crews, and of course Fresno Rack's sales team is second to none. Whether you're looking to just fine-tune your warehouse and make it more efficient, or you're building a new warehouse and need a turnkey from start to finish, Fresno Rack is here to help. Call, click, or visit Fresno Rack today.
This time of year seems to bring out the best in all of us. We all remember to be a little kinder, a bit more joyful, and a lot more appreciative. At Thyssen Duca Modern Wealth Management, we're no different. We'd like to put the busy day on pause for a moment and share with you 2 very important words. Thank you. Because of you, we get to do what we love to do. We get to meet and become friends with wonderful clients and their families. We get to help them make financial decisions, to help them pursue their personal goals. And we get to invest in our community, to make a positive impact right here where we live. Because of you, we get to live out our mission to make every life we touch better. So we're not asking you to call now. There are no operators standing by. There are just 2 words we'd like you to hear. From all of us at Thyssen Duker, thank you.
The advisors of Thyssen Duker Modern Wealth Management are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Winter's here, cold, wet, and no chance to train outside. With school out soon and baseball still rolling, it's the perfect time to get inside and get better at Elite Performance Center in Clovis. Elite offers indoor batting cages, drills, clinics, and one-on-one lessons with top coaches, travel ball standouts, former D1 athletes, MLB vets, and Fresno State softball players. Don't wait on the weather. Schedule your winter training today. Individual sessions and full team rentals available. Find Elite on Barstow just east of Clovis Avenue or at ElitePerformanceCenterCA.com.
Banyan Tree is bringing the holiday cheer with festive deals and premium products that make every celebration brighter. This is your one-stop shop for lifted seasonal vibes. Stock up for parties, gift-giving, or a little holiday unwind. Step inside and experience a warm, welcoming holiday atmosphere you won't find anywhere else. Great prices, quality brands, and freshness you can count on all season long. Make your holidays high-spirited with Banyan Tree. Visit BanyanTreeFresno.com for locations and holiday hours.
Oh no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Bulldog basketball is back and heating up the Save Mart Center. Don't miss any of the exciting action as both the men's and women's basketball teams take on the Mountain West this season. Make sure to bring the whole family to root for your hometown Bulldogs as they compete for that Mountain West championship Fresno would love to bring home. Tickets start as low as $5 for select games. Grab them at GoBulldogs.com today, and we'll see you at the biggest party in the Valley. Go Dogs! You're listening to the home of the San Francisco Giants, KFIG Fresno, 1430 ESPN.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Spurs considering bringing center Victor Wembanyama off the bench again in tonight's NBA Cup Final versus the Knicks. Coverage on ESPN Radio tips off in 1 hour. Wembanyama played 21 minutes in his return from a calf strain on Saturday. Regardless of how much he does play, he certainly represents a major challenge, notes Knicks coach Mike Brown.
You got to work so hard at not just quote-unquote boxing him out, but hitting him early. You got to do the work early to keep him as far away from the basket as possible. And then everybody else, especially the other near defenders, they got to check their man and then get into his lower back so that he can't get any lift off the ground and go rebound.
Mike Brown on the NBA on ESPN Radio. Wemby's averaging 32 and 15 in his career against New York. NFL, the Rams are hoping that Devontae Adams can play Thursday night against the Seahawks. The star receiver didn't practice today after aggravating his left hamstring injury Sunday. LA, currently the 1 seed in the NFC, is tied with Seattle atop the NFC West, with the Rams owning the tiebreaker courtesy of last month's win. In the aftermath of Tua Tagovailoa's dismal performance against the Steelers, Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel opened the door to a possible quarterback change. He said everything's on the table. Tua threw his league-leading 15th interception, took 4 sacks last night in a loss that eliminated Miami from playoff contention. Indiana's Kirk Cignetti, Associated Press College Football Coach of the Year for the 2nd consecutive year. He's the 4th coach to win the award twice, along with Brian Kelly, Gary Patterson, and Nick Saban. Cignetti's Hoosiers are the top seed in the college football playoff.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Wednesday, we'll react to the NBA Cup Final. Plus, is this a blip on the radar or a changing of the guard in the AFC when it comes to the top QBs? It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, man. Is it hard to believe sometimes still, the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. We're super excited to be here.
Phil Bonatti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Hour number 2 of 2 before we send it out to Las Vegas for the NBA Cup Final between the OKC... Not the OKC Thunder, no. It's the San Antonio Spurs. And
we beat them.
You beat the OKC. I was opening a page, it showed me OKC. Cut me some slack.
Don't worry, man. Like, everybody has lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
The Spurs and the Knicks tonight. Wemby versus Towns. You got, De'Aaron Fox versus Brunson. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some matchups on the court.
Oh, you're right.
Things will happen. Things will happen in tonight's game, for sure, which gets going. 5:30 tip, 5 o'clock pregame on 1430, which you can listen to now. We'll take this time. Reminder, Auburn Santos and her coach Anthony B will be in for Justin Garza. We're going to talk to Justin Garza, girls basketball, talk about their season so far this year. She's our student athlete of the week from last week, and so good to get them in studio here. All right, so Knicks Spurs is where we end up in terms of NBA Cup Final, which has been, I think, for the last couple of years. I hear sports talk and people are, well, is it necessary? Is it something we need? Is it something? Is it just a money grab for the NBA? Is it, and I sit there, and I think a lot of people are. I am the indifferent type for sure in terms of what the cup is. It's like, it's an extra game. Like the play-in, like whatever. It's, I'm excited to watch a matchup like this, and I think what the juice that came from the semifinals, I think a lot of people were interested in. At least what Tanvir, you were saying, did you feel like you were watching a playoff game between the Spurs and the Thunder in that Saturday matchup, right?
Yes, I was. I think, for me personally, I think the NBA Cup is very good because I think it gives some type of substance to the first half of the regular season for the NBA, which to me personally, I like the NBA, just season in general, but I am very disinterested when I have to watch the first half of the NBA regular season. So I like that the NBA Cup has been instituted over the last couple of years. I'm not saying it's insanely groundbreaking, but I still like it more than just watching a normal NBA game. So I think it's a very good tournament in itself.
Yeah, great, fantastic analysis, but all I could hear was just crumpling from Daniel. Are you enjoying your Oreos, Daniel? Do you like the Oreos as we're critically analyzing this run in the NBA Cup on national? You have enough time to drink that milk and have some Oreos?
I didn't realize you could do it at first. So I was like
loud and clear.
I was about to slap the Oreos out of his hand, bro. I didn't realize it was
that loud. Bro.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm glad you're enjoying your Oreos. I hope they were delicious. Both teams coming to a similar record tonight. Fair or unfair? If we're going to go daily spread, brought to you by Chichansi Gold Resort Casino, this is a good game to look at it. I'm a little surprised at the spread here. Knicks 2.5 are the favorite tonight as opposed to the Spurs. I feel like I'd be betting on the Spurs tonight based off of just the rigors of the Western Conference. Both teams with a similar record. I'd like to believe that the Spurs are much, I think just in terms of the comparison to both teams, it's going to be interesting to watch. But I think this line's wrong. I think the Spurs should be at least favored by 2.5, in my opinion. Fair or unfair on the line between the Knicks and the Spurs tonight?
I mean, even if you want to say that I'm being a homer for the Spurs, I still think this is an unfair line. Yes, the Knicks are coming in with a 5-game winning streak, but if you actually look at those games, Orlando, Toronto, Orlando, Utah, Charlotte, it's not as impressive as the Spurs' last 5 runs where they've beat OKC, beat the Lakers. Yes, there was a New Orleans game in there, and sure, they lost to Cleveland, but they beat Orlando, beat Memphis, beat Denver at Denver. So I think the Spurs may have a lower line because Victor Wembanyama may still be on a minutes restriction in this game, but otherwise I still think that the Spurs should be the favorites. And if you're gonna, bet on anybody, I think it would be that team versus the Knicks.
Daniel, what do you feel? Where are you feeling in this game? Between just objectively, we're looking at Spurs, Knicks, both teams on the court in a game like this. What do you sit there and think about with this matchup?
Well, I think if Wemby is on a minutes restriction, I think the spread is fine. I think it's should be set as is. But if he wasn't on a minutes restriction, I think it could go 1.5 either way, or even just a half point either way. Because I do think either of these teams are good. I haven't been much into basketball at the start of the season.
I wonder why.
Just because my team is absolutely terrible. But that's
I'm kind of there with you, honestly. I'm getting there with you in basketball, at least from my own perspective, man. It's been we're not as bad as you guys, but the Warriors, man, are making it tough to watch basketball. Steph Curry just giving his body all every night and out, and nothing happening. Anyways, here's an interesting stat line to listen and think about in this one. This is kind of what's got to give here between these two teams in terms of this ranking. Knicks rank second in the NBA in terms of second chance points per game. That means offensive rebounds, second opportunities, and where they can score on the offensive side. Spurs rank third in opponents' second chance points per game this year. Knicks score 18.2 points per game on the second chance points. Spurs allow 13.6 points per game on the second chance points. So I wonder if you think about the matchup, the offensive rebounding and where that'll go. If Wemby's limited in terms of his minutes, like you said, Daniel, will there be the impact moments like the Knicks can have to get those second chance opportunities when Wemby is not on the floor? Can they capitalize in those situations? Because as you know, if Wembanyama is on the floor, those second chance opportunities certainly diminish for the Knicks in terms of that. So what's going to give when Wemby's off the floor how much can the Knicks capitalize on what they do well, which is offensive rebounding?
I think that because Luke Cornett has been playing really well, I think that the drop-off is not necessarily going to be as drastic as we may think it is. I think Wembanyama is one of the best players in the league. And if you look at the plus-minus statistics, when Wembanyama is off the floor, the Spurs are actually very much in the negative. And when he's on the floor, it's one of the highest positives in the league. I think it's in the range of like Nikola Jokic with the Denver Nuggets. So, yes, the pairing of Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson can definitely take the offensive rebounds, but I also think that defensively the San Antonio Spurs team is better than the New York Knicks, and I think with that defensive pressure will force more mid-range shots and three-point shots, and therefore I think with Wembanyama not having necessarily the pressure or rebound in the paint, that is going to allow the San Antonio Spurs to get more boards instead of offensive boards for the New York Knicks, because there will be a lot of one-on-one matchups under the rim.
In terms of the Knicks' ability to score, like we're talking about, right? Because I think that's where it is. Like, if you think about where the production can come from, here's another interesting stat. Josh Hart's been moved to the starting lineup since basically Thanksgiving time for the Knicks. Knicks are 9-1 since they did that move to the lineup. That's the best record in the NBA in that span, even better than the Thunder. They've been second-ranked offensive efficiency, sixth in defensive efficiency. It's not like Josh Hart's like a guy who is completely changing the game for them, but it allows some of their other talented players to assume different roles in this roster in the way he's been able to contribute. Jalen Brunson's had 30-plus points in the last 4 games, including his 40 on Saturday, so Brunson's getting hot at this time as well going into this game. So the guard play for the Knicks versus what the Spurs have on the other side. Stefan Castle's been amazing since he's returned, right? You know that, Tim Veer, in terms of that. But it's going to be interesting to see. I think that's where the game can be won tonight. I know Wemby is the big name everybody thinks about, and everybody thinks about Bodega Cat and Karl-Anthony Towns and that flip side. But I think it's outside the paint. It's outside everything in this basketball game that actually wins the game tonight as opposed to what happens inside.
Yeah, I think with also the Knicks having losses to Landry Shamet and Miles McBride, that's about 20 points per game that you are losing. I think that's also I agree with you. That's where the Spurs can take advantage. You have 4, I think elite guards. I think if you're not going to say 4 elite guards, then you at least should say 2 elite guards. Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, Devin Vassell, and Dylan Harper are all playing great right now. Fox is averaging 23, Castle's averaging 18, Vassell with 15, and Harper, generally coming off of the bench, is averaging 13 points per game, and that's a really good clip for a rookie that's coming off of the bench behind these guys. So this is a very deep guard pool that the Spurs can rotate. I also think on the flip side, when you talk about Wemby off the floor, I think with Brunson off the floor, that could also be an issue for them because you don't have McBride, you don't have Shamet, so you're going to have to rely on guys like Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges to kind of bring the ball up, and I think that's where the Spurs' 4-guard rotation can really hurt them.
I asked this question on the sheet here, our producer sheet. Who would benefit more from a win tonight? In this game, who would benefit more from an NBA Cup title, whatever that means, whatever that stands for, in terms of the development, in terms of the validation? We've kind of realized whoever wins the Cup isn't necessarily lighting the world on fire as a team towards the tail end of it, but I'm not saying that these 2 teams can't compete when it comes to getting to a finals, but I think there's a different feel to this Cup as the other 2 championships have been with what the Lakers did 2 years ago, with what the Bucks did last year. I think this is starting to shift into teams are really more taking it seriously this go around as opposed to the last couple. It just takes some time. It takes some time. But back to the further question of who would benefit more from a win tonight, I think it's a fascinating question to think about. I think there's a right answer for me, and I kind of lean to the West team for it, but I'm curious what you guys think of it.
To me, I think it's the Spurs. I think they would benefit more from it with a win because with how young this team is and given they're playing in a high pressure, high intensity moment of like something that's so high stakes. Yeah, it's not an NBA finals, but it's an NBA Cup final, and it's still for something. And I feel like to have that experience, just to like feel that type of pressure would be good, especially for them should they make the playoffs at the end of the season and have to feel this pressure going into April and May.
Yeah, I think that both teams have different reasons for why they need to win. I think I'm going to start on the Knicks side because I think the Knicks have been a team that has been consistently good for more years out of the Eastern Conference in the last couple of years. They brought back a lot of their guys that they had from their run from last year where they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and were ousted by the Indiana Pacers. So I think for their progression of trying to gain some confidence in the playoffs, I think this could be big for the Knicks. But I also think that the Spurs would benefit more. This is a team that has little to no playoff experience. And I think that playing these type of games, it is semi-high pressure scenario games because it is a tournament format. And so regardless of what you want to say, if you're going to say, oh, this is just a glorified regular season game, there's still something on the line. And I think that the Spurs can use this momentum and use this these sort of games to help them when they get to the playoffs and have more confidence in playoff settings in high-pressure situations.
Could you argue the Spurs already had that from Saturday, and maybe the Knicks want that kind of moment for them? If you think about it, I'm not saying the Spurs don't. Like, the Spurs would love to win, obviously have this as something that they can kind of put a feather in their cap and then feel like they won the first third of the season, things considered. I mean, everyone knows what the Thunder are, but, what you did beating the Thunder on Saturday certainly is enough in some people's opinion that I think the Spurs got what they got out of the NBA Cup regardless of what happens tonight. And maybe I think of what the Knicks have gone through and how they've gone through this season, maybe that's more for the Knicks side. If I'm going from the Knicks argument in terms of it, I would say the Knicks would want to have that kind of moment for them tonight.
I think you could have that argument, but I also think that in the playoffs, you're not going to just be playing up to an opponent. You're going to have some situations where you're playing against a team that's probably a lower seed than you, and so understanding, yes, the Thunder are a better team than the Knicks, and you did beat the Thunder, but you still have to go out there and play the Knicks and win this game. So I think a Knicks win, yes, I believe will be big for them, and I detailed why. But I also think the Spurs can take a lot away from this if they were to win, because it allows them to see how you play up against the team. I'll have a higher seed in a high pressure situation, and a team that is a lower seed than the team you previously played.
Who does win tonight? I know who you're going to pick, Tim.
Well, I think it's going to be the Knicks because I also, I'm a Spurs fan, but I'm going to go against what I want in my heart because I think that the Spurs, with the high that they had in that Thunder game, they're going to come out and realize, okay, yes, we are playing the Knicks, and they're not going to play as good as they did in the game against the Thunder, where it was a lot of emotions in that game. So I think when you have that emotional dump, basically, because the Thunder is basically a rivalry game, I think the Knicks are going to win today.
It's like in the theory, a much smaller scale of the Warriors coming back on OKC and then just completely letting that finals go against Cleveland in the next series. Daniel, who do you got tonight?
Give me San Antonio. I just like the San Antonio team in general, just the way they play, how they flow. Like, I just love it a lot.
Hey, I would love that. I would.
I have tossed back and forth. I said San Antonio should be a favorite, but the more I look at the numbers and the more I think of the way the Knicks have been playing of late, I think Jalen Brunson and his ability to score as of late as well, I think I lean Knicks just slightly. It's going to be a great game.
I think if the Spurs play the way that they play, they will win this game. I just think because there was so much emotion in the last game, you're going to have that emotional dump, and you're ultimately not going to be prepared for a game that you should probably win.
Yeah. Should be fascinating. And, of course, it starts right here at 5 o'clock on 1430 ESPN here. So we'll take you to that game as soon as we get to it in Vegas. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to bring in our guests here, our Student Athlete of the Week from last week, Auburn Santos of Justin Garza girls basketball. We got also head coach Anthony B. as well here. So we're going to bring them in and talk about Justin Garza girls basketball next on 1430 ESPN, Fresno Valley's local sports leader.
When you think of California business machines, it wouldn't surprise me if you automatically thought 3-cent color copies. It's something CBM has become locally famous for. But now, there's something else business owners are calling about. Business phone systems. It's a beautiful thing. Copiers, printers, office phone systems, all with one simple call. The California Business Machines. 559-225-5570 or online at cbmsolution.com.
Get ready for the ultimate Monday Night Showdown, only at Chichancy Gold. Starting September 8th through December 29th, win your share of $80,000 in giveaways, including $51,000 in e-cash. Earn entries all day Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Then join us for drawings every Monday from 5 to 8 p.m. Swipe your rewards card during the game inside Firehouse Lounge for a free entry into over $28,000 in prizes, including football gear and more. Game day starts here at Chichancy Gold.
Bulldog basketball is back and heating up the Save Mart Center. Don't miss any of the exciting action as both the men's and women's basketball teams take on the Mountain West this season. Make sure to bring the whole family to root for your hometown Bulldogs as they compete for that Mountain West championship Fresno would love to bring home. Tickets start as low as $5 for select games. Grab them at GoBulldogs.com today, and we'll see you at the biggest party in the Valley. Go Dogs!
We started like you, a small team with a big dream to serve the Valley. 20 years later, FFB Bank is still proudly backing businesses across California and beyond. We've learned a lot about what it takes to grow, and now we're using that experience to make things easier for you. With our Switch and Save offer, we'll cover up to 90 days of payment processing, provide no-cost equipment, and offer competitive rates so your business can keep more of what it earns. And behind it all is a local team that truly understands your goals and is ready to help you reach them. Make the switch. Save with FFB. Visit ffb.bank to get started. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Fall is here and it's time to get moving at Valley Athletics. Phil Bonatti from Behind the Bench telling you about new programs coming up. Starting soon, you can sign up for monthly memberships for K through 8th graders working on volleyball, basketball, and strength and agility. It's as little as $15 per class. Speaking of sign-ups, the great facilities there are always available for rentals, including birthday parties. So take advantage of that today, especially as we get to those colder months. You can find all the sign-up information on the website valleyathletics.co. Valley Athletics, developing the athlete in everyone.
The biggest event of the year is now through New Year's Day. Save up to 40% during the end-of-year clearance at Fashion Furniture. Sofas, love seats, bedroom and dining room, beautiful leather furniture, and the largest selection of recliners in Central California. Thousands of pictures, lamps, area rugs, accent items. Save hundreds of dollars with 0% financing. Save 20, 30, even 40% now during the end-of-year clearance at Fashion Furniture across from River Park.
The holidays are rolling in, and Valley Pure is here to make every celebration brighter. Whether you're picking up gifts, prepping for gatherings, or treating yourself to a little seasonal joy, Valley Pure has the quality and freshness you count on. And here's the standout holiday offer you can't miss. Tell your bud tender you heard this radio ad and grab a Valley Pure or Cowgirl 8th or a 1-gram vape cart for just a nickel with any purchase of $50 or more. Valley Pure has shelves full of premium flower, smooth vapes, and all your festive favorites. Ready to help you elevate every moment. And remember that incredible nickel deal is waiting as long as you mention this ad at checkout. 1 redemption per customer. Make your season unforgettable at Valley Pure. Don't forget, mention this radio ad for your nickel deal. Valley Pure or Cowgirl 8th or 1-gram cart with a $50 purchase. And Valley Pure Tulare now has extended hours every day from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit valleypure.net to find a location near you.
On 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader, and we're pleased to be joined by a couple great guests in studio here now. Auburn Santos of Justin Garza girls basketball. We also got head coach Anthony B, right? Hold on, I got the wrong mic for you here. Give me a sec. I'll get this one. You stay right there. That is my apologies. Now we got you on the right mic.
Now you got the name.
Now we got the name. Anthony B here as well. Auburn, good to have you both here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, glad to be talking to you both, of course. And first of all, Congratulations, Auburn, on winning Student Athlete of the Week for us here.
Thank you.
Yeah, how does it feel?
It feels great. I'm very honored. I want to thank my family, my team, of course, and, coaches and you guys for blessing me with this.
Absolutely. It's great to have you. Great to recognize your achievements this season, of course, so far. And I know you got plenty of great things coming along your way, but we want to recognize what has been a great start to your season, of course, and student athlete is such a big statement, right? And not just the athlete, but the student as well. Absolutely. And Coach, you agree with that sentiment?
I agree with that sentiment without a doubt. I know we really preach student athlete on campus. I know we set our bars high for a 3.5 and above GPA, and right now our girls are really hitting that mark really well. But student athlete, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. That's what we were bred on right now.
And so, speak to Auburn as a student athlete herself.
Oh yeah, she's an amazing kid. Again, I get the privilege of watching her actually engage with her teammates, watch them do their study hall sections, and they are truly helping each other out with their academics, but also just kind of seeing her around campus with some of the faculty that we have there. She's been just top notch on that one, and for someone who wants to go into forensics, she has her head on her shoulders already there, and so she's above all. But honestly, most of the girls are that way.
Absolutely, and Auburn, you hear that from Coach, and all those instill in you. What instilled you a work ethic like that? I know you love playing basketball, but you got to do the work in the classroom to be able to play. Tell me where that work ethic came from for you.
Honestly, I feel like from a young age, I've always been super competitive, and just basketball has really given me that. I've tried every sport, and really that's the only one that I like, and Dad's always told me to pick something you're good at and stay with it. So I just kept going, and I just kept working, and I think me thinking about a future career and really setting up my life for the future gets me excited. So if I can do that into a sport that I love, it really excites me.
Yeah.
And I love doing it with such a great group of girls. So.
I'm sure you're just happy you found a sport like you're talking about. Basketball being the one. Coach, I'm sure you love that you fell in love with basketball.
I've been playing this game since I was in the 3rd grade, so I can't give it up, and it's just fun to kind of take my knowledge and pass it down. And like I said, when you have a player like Auburn, some of my past players who are willing to accept it, it's fun to kind of bring that out. So it makes my job easier, but it's good, like I said, that when you got players who really are gym rats, and she's one of those gym rats.
Yeah, Auburn, we got you at, you're top scorer for your school, of course, so far this year, but you're kind of leading the way for this group so far, and a 9-1 record, really good last couple of weeks for you as we were kind of looking through, and, it's tell me a little bit about what it's been like in this season for you as a player, being able to contribute as much as you've contributed so far this year on the court.
So I think it really starts outside the court, coming in, transferring, going to this whole new school. Off the bat, all these girls were so amazing to me from the beginning, and I really think that put me at a high work ethic for them. I really want to do it for them, and for Coach B, it hasn't been it hasn't been a good last couple seasons for him, and it hasn't been for me either, really. Yeah. And so given the opportunity with the group and the coaching staff that I have today, I really want to take advantage of it, and finish off my last 2 years of varsity basketball going great.
Yeah.
Excited for the future, and many more to go.
Absolutely, and it feels like this is something that, at least so far, 9-1 meant to be kind of situation, right, Coach? And for her to really fit in as much as she has so far in this program, it's not easy for somebody to come in like this off of,
It's one. I think that's the beauty of the program in general. We are very accepting of anyone that comes in. And I think our young ladies, our staff, our coaches, they're willing to accept anyone in. especially in today's environment of basketball these days.
Yeah.
But when you have someone who's willing to come in and fit in and not come in and try and take over, I think that makes a huge difference. And one of the best things that she's done is she's just come in to just to fit in. And because she's kind of come in that particular way, it allowed the girls who've already been there to actually say, yeah, come on in, let's be a part of this together. So it was actually a good fit for really everyone. And like I've said before, they are like the best of friends on and off the court, and it's kind of funny to watch them act a fool sometimes. But that's what culture does for you when you actually have it going in the right direction.
And you talk about fitting in and filling with this roster. Who are the players that really helped you on this team for you? You're like, wow, I feel real welcome here. I feel like I can be myself.
Honestly, everybody. Like, if you want me to name drop all of them right now,
I'm sure they're listening, right?
No, I'm sure they are. They're super supportive. Like, there's nobody in particular. Like, honestly, they all are super supportive.
Yeah.
They all just love me. Like, I don't know, like, and I love them. I'm willing to work this hard for the season for them, and it's honestly, I just feel like it's so great because we win and we do it for each other. It's
Certainly.
not out of, like, selfishness.
Yeah.
It's working hard for each other at the end of the day.
Well, Coach, tell me a little bit about, for people who don't know, who haven't watched Auburn play just quite yet, what kind of player, like, what makes her such a prolific scorer right now in the Central section? Like,
She's hyper competitive. It's probably like a good way to put it. She hates to lose, but again, she probably has the same DNA I have. I hate to lose. But her biggest thing, she's beyond competitive, and she just wants to win at all costs, and that means she's diving on the floor. She's getting after those 50-50 balls. She's willing to sacrifice some things sometimes, but she also knows she's the force multiplier on the team, and because she's that person, everyone's trying to play at her level, so it's kind of ramped up everyone's competitive fire a great deal, while still teaching her some things that she can do on her. You're going to see someone who's going to compete. But then once she's done competing, she's going to care about what just happened. And she's going to make it a point to make sure that everyone on the team get their fair share of the wealth. And I think that's the best joys about playing with her and coaching with her as well.
Yeah, and I go to Auburn here next, right, for you. And as an athlete, I'm sure you're always just like, okay, I can do something better here, I can do something better here. So it's hard to, like, pinpoint the things you feel you do well, but, like, what do you feel right now has given you the, like, you've scored very well, you played very well. Like, so what do you feel like has been the difference this season, just in your own personal game and what you've worked on?
I would say coming from a school where I had to kind of like work for my own shots and work for everything I had, coming on this team, it's kind of like, oh, okay, wait, I don't have to take every shot. You know, like I can share the ball too. I feel like me going into leadership as a captain this year, sometimes I can be like super overly competitive with them, and I really try so hard not to be, but that's one of my things that I'm really working on. But I think that's coming a long way because I'm like building trust slowly with my team, and it's bringing up my assists. So at the end of the day, I'm really helping myself, but also them because they're getting the glory of confidence when scoring, and if we win, then we all win. So
the competitiveness. Is she talking about it in practice too, right?
It's gotten to the point where even myself and a few other, even some of our male athletes are really trying to get at her as well because she's just that hyper competitive. I mean, she's gotten to the point where she enjoys playing against our male athletes, and she's been giving them the business as well. And when you got an athlete of that nature, all you can do is keep putting people in front of her to kind of make her better, and she's accepted that challenge across the board. So I think that's fun to actually kind of see and watch, especially from a female sports perspective.
You challenging the guys? You challenging them out there, right?
I don't know, man. I think I would take the cake on those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a decent boys team too on the other side too. They,
Our boys team are doing well.
Yeah.
Our boys team are doing well.
It's good to be Justin Garza basketball right now. I'm kind of looking through the season, of course. I see the results here. You start off the season, go through a tournament, you get a tournament victory, right? And tight battles. You had Stockdale with a tight battle there. You beat Wasco, you beat South. Just kind of thinking of how the season has kind of progressed. Outside of the 2-point loss to Mendota, it's not been. There's been some games you've been able to pull away. There's been some tight battles as well. Yeah. As a coach, I think you invite the experiences of that, right?
Yeah, I told them I love tight games. Tight games, it builds character. It's kind of how I look at it. A lot of our games that you'll see outside of that Mendota game to a certain degree, the ones we've kind of run away with it, a lot is just because of the conditioning piece of it. Well, it's a tight game probably all the way through the third quarter, and then all of a sudden our conditioning takes off, and we're just up and down the court, and I think that's something that we've kind of learned how to do here over time. So we've pride ourselves in keep going, regardless of what the situation is. We're going to keep on moving. We're going to keep on playing our pace, and as long as we've done that, we've been able to just run through people from that particular part, and it's been a lot of fun kind of watching them progress through it.
I mean, how tough is the conditioning to be a player at Justin Gary's? Like, how much does Coach B push you all? Because obviously he talks about it. Those are you see the examples of that work. So tell me a little bit about how much the conditioning pushes you all.
Oh my gosh, where do I start? It's a lot because we are like a defensive-oriented team. I feel like it comes in with a lot of defensive drills. It comes with a lot of conditioning, like before season, over summer, we are doing full track workouts. We don't even get to touch a basketball. You have to earn it. And then at that point, it's like 5 miles in the morning. Then you got 5 miles after school. And then when you think you're going to touch a basketball, you don't. You run 5 more. And it just keeps going. But I feel like once you reach that point where you just stop thinking about how tired you are and how much your muscles hurt, I feel like at that point it's like, okay, basketball's fun now because I'm less tired. I get to do all the fun things that I want to do.
Because at that point, when you're in an overtime game with Kingsburg and everybody's huffing and puffing, you feel like you got a little extra edge, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of like that, stuff like that when you get into it and you get into a tournament and you're just coming off of this tournament beating Tulare Western in the last game, in terms of that. You guys are set, had the Vegas in a couple days, right? So when it comes to this part of the season where it kind of preps you for the later part of the season, what do these tournaments tell you as a team? From a player perspective, as a coach perspective, like I can go back to Auburn here first and we'll go to Coach. Auburn, when it comes to the tournaments, what do you learn most about your team in these back-to-back days of games?
So I feel like it depends on the teams that we play because a lot of the times we are big in the paint, so it's like physical games, and then it's like other games where it's like, okay, our guards need to step up, and I feel like as games continue on, we build a stronger team chemistry with each other, and I feel like as we progress, we find new strengths in each other that we can like abuse in further games. And implementing new plays, and I feel like as we go on, like it just brings more confidence to the other players because it gets so exciting when we're in wins and then our bench gets to play and getting all excited for the bench players. I feel like it's a really good season so far. I'm really excited.
Yeah. And Coach, from your perspective, what you want, what do you look for out of your team in terms of it?
I'm looking for always like just getting better. Like we go into practice trying to get better. We come out of games. The goal is to be 1-0 coming out of a game. That's what I really preach the most of.
Yeah.
And when we go into our tournaments, even the ones coming up, it's like, are we getting ourselves ready for that long marathon? Because again, we don't want to be peaking right now. We want to be peaking again in the middle of February. When state playoffs come around and so forth. But it gives me a good gauge of where we are as a collective whole team when we start talking about like all 4 phases of the game. And I think that's the part that I kind of pay attention to the most. And then I sit back and kind of like watch the girls. And again, we do a lot of running, a lot of playing. Do I need to scale back on some of the conditioning piece of it, trying to save some legs a little bit, have more fun in practice when we can. just so they're not like mentally worn out to a certain degree. But it does give me a chance to gauge where they are mentally and physically as we're kind of progressing, especially as we get into conference play.
Wait, when you think about what you have on this group, and obviously the start that you like to have right now at 9-1, when you've coached some other teams, right? And when you think about what this team's ceiling is, do you allow yourself to think about that right now? Or?
I try not to. I rather have them produce their ceiling. My job is to coach them as hard as I can while giving some flexibility to kind of make those mistakes that they actually make. But their ceiling is going to be predicated on what they want to achieve. And ultimately, for me, it's scholarships. I got to get them all scholarships. Mom and dad don't need to pay for college if we can avoid it. And that's what I'm trying my best to do. But their ceiling is how far they want to take it. My job is to kind of be right along with them and kind of push them to what that ceiling is going to look like.
And when you hear that from Coach, not just obviously the winning, but the setting up your future. Albert, I know you're just a junior, so you got, but I'm sure you're thinking about it, right? A little bit like that. So, first of all, how is that going? Are you looking at some places the next? You're thinking about it, or you're putting out some stuff? I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm trying.
Yeah. So, but in terms of that, when it comes to the winning aspect and what your ceiling is and what you create out of your ceiling, what comes to mind when you hear Coach say that about what this team can be?
I think the sky is the limit. Honestly, I feel like we're always trying to get better. I feel like everybody's work ethic is really crazy. I feel like even though we all may not be good at something, I feel like we always try. We always give it 100% effort. Yeah.
All right. Well, last question before I start doing the prize giveaway here for you. Who are your biggest inspirations? You can talk about like basketball players you watch or people, tell me a little bit about like who inspires you in the game of basketball.
Honestly, I learn something new every day from my teammates. My coach, he's like I pull up to practice, he's like one-on-one right now. So I learned a lot of new things from him. My dad, he's like my number one supporter. He's always there. Yeah, I may have like a 45-point game and you could have had 50.
Yeah.
But he's always pushing me for more, and I know I can always depend on him when I need it, and I know he just means the best. He's expecting so much from me, and I do the same with myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Awesome to have family support.
No, absolutely. Our parents are amazing. I don't know if the program is where it is without our tremendous parents that we have within the program itself, and that's at this level and all the way down as well. And I thank them like there's no tomorrow, because it makes it easier for me as a head coach to have that type of support outside of the game of basketball, and obviously they all trust me to actually take care of their kiddos, and I value that trust probably more than anything.
Absolutely. Well, Auburn, great job, and with that comes some things I'm going to give you here. Hopefully I can do this in a very easy fashion with the microphone and everything. I have a bag of goodies here for you. There's some tickets to a Fresno State basketball game. I checked the schedule. I think you should be able to make the date I gave you. So they're in there. There's a T-shirt for you.
Oh, wow.
There's a KFC voucher in there. Toledo's hooking you up with a family 4-pack.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sure. And we also got one of these, which I'm sure you see on the social media platforms. I'm going to hold it up for you.
Wow.
Look at that.
Thank you.
Yes, I like that.
I don't know if we can get it fully on the camera. It's me. I gotta shout. Get on the microphone. There we go.
Oh, wow.
There, I'm going to hand it over to you. There you go. Maybe you can hold it in front of this camera here for you. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. How about that? Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
And we also got some stuff from Moth Farms as well for you.
Oh, thank you.
You like milk?
Yeah, sure.
Definitely got a teammate that likes milk.
Well, Coach, because of Auburn's contributions, we're going to hook you guys up with some Raw Farm milk drop to your practice.
I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you.
hook you up with that as well. We'll get you all the information after that as well. But guys, great job this season so far. Auburn, congratulations, and safe travels to Vegas.
Yes.
Hopefully coming home with a title, and then of course more to come for this squad.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you guys stopping by. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas holiday and all that stuff as well.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. And again, same to you. Have a phenomenal holiday season with the family, and God bless you all.
Absolutely. All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more show next. We'll wrap it all up next on 1430. ESPN Fresno Valley's local sports leader.
I'm here at the Roger Dunn Open. Former Fresno State football coach Pat Hill is at the first tee.
Hey, it's a fairway hit.
Yeah, but that's the wrong fairway, Coach.
I need to buy a golf game.
Coach, I really think you need a Roger Dunn Baker.
When you buy a game at Roger Dunn, you can play anybody, anytime, anywhere. This is the old coach, Pat Hill. I bought this 7-iron at Roger Dunn Golf. Number 8 at Tehama, 162 yards out. Eagle, baby!
Welcome to A+ Signs.
Thanks. Yeah, I need some custom exterior signs for my business.
Great. What's the name of your business?
C+ Signs.
Wait, you own a sign company?
Yep, C+ Signs.
And you want us, A+ Signs, to make your signs?
Yeah, I need them really fast, and we can't touch our turnaround times.
We are kind of known for that.
For signs that stop traffic, drive traffic, and even direct traffic, call A+ Signs.
Remember, A+ has great technicians to service and repair signs, too.
Yeah, we got a guy, but he's afraid of ladders.
It's cold outside. And a good thing, Donald P. Dick has 5-year free financing on a new Lennox system. That's 0% financing and up to 30% energy savings. This isn't a system that costs. It pays. Get 54 years of experience, 12 People's Choice Awards, and Lennox, the best-selling system in the Valley. Affordable, high-quality Lennox. And 5 years of free financing from Donald P. Dick. Call 255-1644.
The holidays are rolling in, and Valley Pure is here to make every celebration brighter. Whether you're picking up gifts, prepping for gatherings, or treating yourself to a little seasonal joy, Valley Pure has the quality and freshness you count on. And here's the standout holiday offer you can't miss. Tell your bud tender you heard this radio ad and grab a Valley Pure or Cowgirl 8th or a 1-gram vape cart for just a nickel with any purchase of $50 or more. Valley Pure has shelves full of premium flower, smooth vapes, and all your festive favorites. Ready to help you elevate every moment. And remember that incredible nickel deal is waiting as long as you mention this ad at checkout. 1 redemption per customer. Make your season unforgettable at Valley Pure. Don't forget, mention this radio ad for your nickel deal. Valley Pure or Cowgirl 8th or 1-gram carts with a $50 purchase. And Valley Pure Tulare now has extended hours every day from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit valleypure.net to find a location near you.
Back the birds, Fresno. Don't miss another week of Fresno Pacific University Sunbirds action at the Special Event Center.
Dribbling with the left hand. She's going to fire another three. That one good as well. 3 straight threes on 3 straight possessions.
All games are just $10 for fans 18 and older. 17 and under get in free. Back the birds, Fresno. Catch both men's and women's basketball before the season wraps up. Don't miss the excitement. For schedule and ticket information, visit fpuathletics.com today. See you there.
Want to work somewhere fun, flexible, and rewarding? Me and Ed's is hiring. We're looking to expand our team with full and part-time positions at over 40 locations. Join our growing company as a delivery driver or value team member today. For more information on job descriptions or to apply, go online at meandeds.com or visit your nearest location. Me and Ed's is hiring. Fill out an application.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
When Jeff Thiessen and Lance Duker started Thiessen Duker Modern Wealth Management in 2003, they had a simple mission: to make every life they touch better. They established Thiessen Duker as an independent firm, not tied to the restrictions of one Wall Street company, so their clients could have access to any investment products that were right for them, and Thiessen Duker could serve their clients the way they wanted to be served. They've done other things differently too. From investing in advanced financial planning technology to implementing a team approach with advisors working together to develop client strategies. And from day one, Thiessen-Duker has shared its success with local organizations, making a difference in people's lives right here at home. If you need a financial advisor, or if you are a financial advisor and would like to know more about how Thiessen-Duker can make your life better, please visit ThiessenDuker.com. The advisors of Thiessen-Duker Modern Wealth Management are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
$14:30 ESPN, Fresno Valley's local sports leader. Big thanks to Auburn Santos and Coach Anthony B. of Justin Garza High School girls basketball. Great visit with them. That was a fun time for them here to be in the studio talking about their season. Really enjoyed that conversation. And if you missed it, you can listen to our show as soon as we wrap up on demand on 1430 ESPNFresno.com or on the ESPN Fresno app. All of those great locations for you. Or you can go back to the YouTube page, scrub back, watch our stream on ESPN Fresno. All of those ways to watch it here is great. And guess what? We got another student athlete interview in 2 days. We're gonna have another one. Trying to play catch up a little bit. I sit here and the schedule just wreaks havoc on these things we try to do. So no fault to them. It's just tournament season for basketball. So, but now I think people are a little interested in Justin Garza basketball. 9-1, off to a good start. We like him. And no, she was great. She was great. So
I mean, if your team has chemistry, you're already halfway there.
Yeah.
So you combine that with talent, and I think they can make it pretty far.
You'll take it. You'll take it. All right, let's talk about the schedule upcoming because, folks, it's going to be different. It's for sure. We have Sharks and Flames tonight over on 790 back in San Jose. Sharks, man, they got this is always the problem, right, with these kind of games is, Tamer, you can't lose the game after the emotional win. You can't do too many times you get the loss after the emotional win. There's a few teams in the NFL I'm looking at that are like that in terms of a candidate for it, and the Sharks are in the same boat right now. Got to play the Flames the right way.
Yep.
Flames have been playing better, by the way. I got a little update for you in terms of the Flames. They've won 7 straight games against the Sharks, dating back to a couple of seasons ago.
Different Sharks.
Different Sharks, we hope. Sharks, they lost a mind-numbingly horrible game, and they had nothing in Calgary back when they were on their other big long win streak. So hopefully they can exercise some demons. Flames are minus 142 favorites tonight in terms of it, probably because Will Smith's hurt tonight. So
yeah.
Macklin's 47 points, third most in the NHL behind Connor McDavid, Nate McKinnon. And he is seeking to become the third player in Sharks history to record 50 points in a season before the Christmas break. Owen Nolan, Joe Thornton. Those are the names. Anyways. All right. What else we got? Reminder tonight, we got the NBA Cup Final. That's what's coming up at 5 o'clock. Tomorrow, we'll have Sportsline Bowling Hour, Tony D, 2 to 3. We'll have my show, 3 hours. The last 3-hour show of the year for me. One final 5 at 5. I better come up with a good idea for a 5 at 5. Ace is coming in tomorrow.
It's got to be Christmas related.
Yeah, Christmas related, something like that. The best gifts of the sports season this past year. I don't know. Maybe
I like that idea.
You can think about it. Sunbird Sports Show at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Paul Metters' final Sunbird Sports Show of the year, calendar-wise. So I heard he's got a really good guest list coming in, some Hall of Fame potential names in terms of Sunbird sports lore. So it's a Sunbird Sports Show you don't want to miss at 6 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have Sportsline Bowling Hour, Tony D, 2 to 3 on Thursday. We'll have my show from 3 to 5 on Thursday. We'll have Rams Seahawks on Thursday Night Football on 5 o'clock on 1430. Over on 790. Yeah, we're going to do a high school hoops game on 790. 6:15 pregame, 6:30 tip-off, Central East and McLean High basketball. Good to get a little exposure to McLean High down there. And Central East was a team that was in the Selland Arena last year fighting for a title. So an epic double overtime game against Mission College Prep. Friday, we'll have Sports Line Bulldog with Tony 2 to 3. We'll have my show from 3 to 4:30, and then we'll send it to the college football playoff, Alabama, Oklahoma. That's what's going to be on at 4:30 on 1430. We may have to do some college football playoff picks at some point at the tail end of the show as well.
We will be there.
Yeah. So Saturday, no Sports Line, or excuse me, no Central Valley Sports Report. Paul Metters is on a break. We'll have Eagles, Commanders, Packers, Bears on Saturday on 1430. So all of your NFL is on 1430. All of your college football playoff is on 790 on Saturday. We're talking Miami, Texas A&M in the morning, Tulane, Ole Miss in the afternoon, and then in the evening, James Madison and Oregon cap it all off for that. Sunday, we'll have Raiders, Texans in the afternoon on 1430. We'll have Sunday Night Football, Bengals, Dolphins on Sunday. And then back Monday, Sports on Bulldog with Tony D, 2 to 3. We'll have my show from 3 to 5. Monday Night Football, 49ers, Colts. And then I'm off for vacation. We'll have some bowl games all throughout the end of December here. Outside of Monday. Monday we'll be back. I'll have a special little Monday show on the 29th ahead of the Rams and the Falcons before we don't have a show for the rest of the calendar year. We'll be back January 2nd for that, so should be good. Did you get all that, Tanvir?
I kind of zoned out for a little bit, but I can recite half of it back.
I'm sure you can.
College football on 790, NFL on 1430.
On Saturday.
Yep.
All right. What's your 10 seconds here? What's your favorite college football playoff game? Which one are you locking in?
Miami, Texas A&M is probably my favorite one. Other than that, I actually think Oklahoma can give Alabama a lot of trouble. I know the Lions don't think so, and I also think a lot of people think Alabama is just going to run through it. But I think Oklahoma, being at home, and I still believe in John Mateer and those guys. I think they can give Alabama a run for their money.
I think I'm most interested in Tulane, Ole Miss. I think I'm there. I think that's where I'm at in terms of the most interested one. But we'll see.
Least interested. Now, you know that answer. But the other three are very good.
JMU, thanks for playing.
Oh, if JMU could upset Oregon, that'd be something else.
All right, we got to go. Do we have another minute here?
We do.
Oh, I forgot about it. I was so good. Locked in on the old time.
Yeah.
I needed to give him another minute here. What do we do for another minute? Spurs, Knicks coming up in a little bit. Lakers come back on Thursday. So it's kind of a strange part of the season where everybody's kind of a little rested here in terms of it. I did look at NBA MVP odds real quick. You want to know the top three?
Yeah, let's hear it.
SGA was number 1, Jokic 2,
okay,
and Luka 3.
Okay.
And those are kind of, everybody else is way behind.
Yeah, I think if Wemby had the minutes, excuse me, the games, then he would also be in that mix, but he just has been injured for too long this year, even though it's just the start of the year.
Luka feels like a good bet.
There's a bet would be a good bet.
There's a bet there. All right, Tanvir, good job by you. Appreciate it as always. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for a full show. We'll be back 3 o'clock. NBA Cup Finals next.
Tune in every weekday to the Sportsline Bulldog Hour with Tony D. Brought to you by Precision.
Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb.